Beneath our modern world lies a silent, subterranean kingdom where the story of humanity began not with a shout, but with a whisper painted in ochre and charcoal. These are not merely caves. They are the wombs of our oldest ideas, the first temples where our ancestors stared into the darkness and saw the dawn of consciousness. We believe we understand our origins, but the true narrative is far grander, etched into stone deep within the planet's memory, waiting to be deciphered. This journey will shatter your perception of the caveman, revealing them not as primitive brutes, but as profound artists, spiritual pioneers, and the architects of humanity's first great cosmic maps. Prepare to venture into the eternal twilight of these primordial sanctuaries, where the echoes of ancient rituals still resonate in the profound, chilling silence. The initial perception of caves as simple, brutish shelters from saber-toothed cats and unforgiving ice ages barely scratches the surface of a far more complex and awe-inspiring reality. Because archaeological evidence from sites like Chauvet and Lascaux reveals these subterranean galleries were often located in dangerously inaccessible chambers, suggesting their primary purpose was not for living but for sacred, transformative rituals. Furthermore, the incredible acoustic properties of these limestone cathedrals, where a single chant or clap can reverberate for astonishing lengths of time, have led researchers like Igor Reznikov to propose that sound was a critical component of their spiritual technology, guiding shamans through the darkness to specific resonant spots where the veil between worlds felt thinnest. In addition to the visual splendor of the art, the very act of journeying deep into the earth, leaving the sunlit world behind for a realm of absolute darkness and profound silence, would have been a powerful psychological experience, fundamentally altering consciousness and preparing the mind for communion with the spirit world. These were not just homes, but destinations for epic spiritual pilgrimages, where entire communities would have supported the brave few who ventured into the planet's depths to paint visions, conduct ceremonies, and reinforce the cosmic order that governed their precarious existence. Within these hallowed chambers, the art itself transcends mere decoration, functioning instead as a dynamic, living interface with the supernatural forces that ancient people believed animated their world, as demonstrated by the deliberate placement of paintings over specific cracks and convexities in the rock to give the animals a three-dimensional, almost breathing quality. The flickering, dancing light from tallow lamps would have made these magnificent beasts appear to move and shift along the cave walls, creating a mesmerizing, cinematic experience for participants in a ritual, a primordial theater where myths were not just told, but were viscerally experienced in the deep, resonant darkness. Moreover, the recurring symbols, like the abstract dots and lines that anthropologist Genevieve von Petzinger has cataloged across dozens of European sites, hint at a sophisticated, continent-wide system of communication, a proto-writing that conveyed complex ideas about cosmology, lineage, or the very structure of the universe itself. The handprints, both positive and negative stencils created by blowing pigment over a hand pressed to the wall, are arguably the most profound statements of all, a timeless, personal signature that screams across millennia. I was here, I existed, and I touched this sacred place. The selection of these specific underground locations was anything but random, representing a deliberate choice to engage with a powerful, living entity, the Earth itself, which our ancestors likely viewed as a great, nurturing mother goddess or a portal to the underworld. Imagine the sensory experience of navigating these labyrinthine passages, the smell of damp earth and mineral deposits filling the air, the constant drip of water echoing like a slow, steady heartbeat, and the feeling of the immense weight of the world pressing in from all sides, creating a profound sense of both intimacy and overwhelming power. Scientists speculate that the natural mineral pigments used, such as iron-rich red ochre and black manganese dioxide, were not just artistic materials, but substances imbued with symbolic and magical properties, their collection and preparation being a ritual act in itself that charged them with sacred power before they ever touched the stone. Consequently, these caves were not empty spaces to be filled, but were active participants in the ritual, with their unique geological formations, acoustic qualities, and inherent darkness shaping the very nature of the ceremonies and the spiritual revelations that unfolded within their depths. This intricate tapestry of art, sound, and sensory immersion points to a worldview where the physical and spiritual realms were not separate but were deeply interwoven, and the cave acted as the critical nexus point where humans could directly interact with the powerful, often terrifying, forces of nature. The depiction of therianthropes, hybrid figures that are part human and part animal, like the famous sorcerer of Chouafraires strongly suggests shamanistic practices where individuals undertook spiritual journeys, transforming into powerful animal spirits to heal the sick, ensure a successful hunt, or divine the future. The sheer effort required to create this art, gathering materials, preparing pigments, and working for hours by faint, smoky light in freezing, oxygen-depleted conditions, underscores its immense importance, indicating that these were not idle doodles, but were acts of existential necessity, crucial for the survival and psychological well-being of the entire community. In addition to being ritual centers, these caves served as archives of ecological knowledge, with the accurate depiction of animal species and their behaviors acting as a repository of information passed down through generations, a sacred encyclopedia written on the very bones of the earth. Therefore, we must completely reevaluate our understanding of these ancient spaces, seeing them not as crude hideouts, but as sophisticated theaters of the mind, designed and utilized to engineer specific states of consciousness and reinforce a complex spiritual cosmology. The journey into the cave was a symbolic journey into the self, a descent into the subconscious where the boundaries of individual identity could dissolve and connect with the collective spirit of the tribe and the wider cosmos. These subterranean worlds were humanity's first laboratories of thought, where abstract concepts like time, death, and spirituality were first given form and explored through the powerful mediums of art, myth, and ritual. Our ancestors were not just surviving the Ice Age. They were actively interpreting their universe, mapping their souls, and laying the foundational stones of the human spiritual odyssey in the deepest, most silent places on Earth. This was the dawn of the human spirit, born in darkness to better understand the light. They went into the earth to find shelter, but they emerged having found themselves. And the echoes of their first sacred songs still wait for us in the heart of the stone, a timeless invitation to remember where we truly come from.